Real quick, I want to do a fair use. Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners, phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To sisters, your Akhwathim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And just saying, Esau, this is about to get chased out the world, right? Esau is being chased out of the world.
It happened, folks. Donald Trump has cracked under pressure with all of MAGA saying, what the hell are you doing with those Epstein files? Why are you covering up the list? Donald Trump said, you know what? Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, they did the list. They're responsible for it. This is fake news. And everybody was like, huh? What are you talking about? And Donald Trump's like, yeah, the list is just a hoax. And it was written by Obama and Clinton. So why are you going to listen to them? And people were like, what? What are you talking about? You've been saying that this was a list that you were going to release. And Donald Trump wrote this message right here. Mark the day, mark the moment where he just blew up MAGA. And I think for good. Here's what Donald Trump posts. He goes, what's going on with my boys? And in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it. All over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who con the world with Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Just pause there for a second. You're saying Hillary Clinton, Obama, and James Comey created the Epstein files, and it never actually existed? So let me get this straight. So you and all of the MAGA people have just been grifting and lying about a sex trafficking ring? That was what, Donald? Were you being sarcastic? Were you joking about that? Were you grifting with that? Or are you on the list? Because y'all said the list was real. Pam Bondi, your attorney general, said it was sitting on her desk. Let's go on and read it more. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Why wouldn't you just release it right now? If you have it, wouldn't it follow that you would release it? And by the way, Democrats, Biden, Obama, they didn't make their main issue releasing the Epstein files. That was your issue. That's what MAGA was out there saying every single day. And not everybody, Donald, is as vindictive as you that just use things to destroy their political enemies. You know, other politicians, they do things like, try to pass laws that benefit the people. You know, Biden was focused on the inflation. Donald Trump just ran out of the room where he was holding a press event. He was asked if he wants to appoint a special counsel to look into the Epstein files and the Epstein list. He runs out and says, "I have nothing to do with it. Here, play this clip."
President Trump, would you consider appointing a special counsel to investigate the Jeffrey Epstein investigation?
I have nothing to do with it.
Wow, Donald Trump is really a cornered rat. Hey, Donald, you don't have anything to do with it? How about this? Here, play this clip. Oh, and by the way, you were the main purveyor and pusher of all things Epstein, despite the fact that you were his best friend, and Mar-a-Lago was literally used as a crime scene, as the grounds for finding girls to sex traffic by Epstein, like Virginia Giuffre. Here's what you said when you were campaigning the first time. Here, play this clip.
Bill Clinton. Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool.
Oh, but now you're out there saying that the Epstein list, the Epstein files, and Epstein's sex trafficking ring is a hoax perpetrated by the Democrats. That's what you're posting on social media, and you're telling all of your supporters that they are stupid people if they believe that the Epstein files and the Epstein sex trafficking ring is real, and you're saying focus on other things like the auto pen scandal. Did you know former President Biden used an auto pen? You use an auto pen. All former presidents use auto pens. Politicians sign
proceso por el cual las personas originarias de los barrios se ven desplazadas por gente con mayor poder adquisitivo. Es decir, gente que viene de otros países, en su mayoría extranjeros, a querer imponer su cultura, sus precios y desplazar a los mexicanos, a los nativos de estas tierras.
Vengo porque la gentrificación solo es un paso más a la colonización, a los despojos y a que exploten nuestros recursos. Ahorita es con la gente, pero ya falta poco para que cuando se les acabe el petróleo, el agua, el litio en otro país, vengan y nos saquen.
Fellas, Minister of South Africa, Kumbuso Chaveni, has told Afrikaners they should take up Trump's settlement offer to the United States of America instead of peddling lies. So, some of the Afrikaners in South Africa, who are white people, have complained a few days ago about the treatment in South Africa. And South Africa's reacted in many, many ways. Donald Trump was very angry at that and acted in a way that many people perceive as not wise by accusing South Africa of having racialist laws. So basically, this group of white people in South Africa allegedly say that they were being persecuted, being genocided. Do you understand the definition of genocide? Genocide is basically when a group of people, ethnic people, community, religious people are being targeted for what they are. Now, many South Africans believe that this group of Afrikaners made Donald Trump believe that white people in South Africa were being subjected to a silent genocide. And after that has happened, the ministers say, you know what? Because you're complaining, you saying all this stuff, how about you take the resettlement offer from Donald Trump and go live in America? Because Trump says, okay, you know what? We're going to open the doors to white South Africans that want to flee the country, the white people that are being subject to genocide. Now, are white people being genocided in South Africa? I'm not going to give you any answer. Well, if white people were being genocided in Africa, you probably would have seen American soldiers, all of that, just like in Ukraine. Maybe even more than Ukraine, because, it was going to be crazy. So the ministers say, how about you go? This is an opportunity for you to go.
They don't like South Africa so much. If they don't like what the efforts of government to redress the iniquities of the past, why don't they take up President Trump on his offer to resettle in the United States. I think we need to leave it there. So those who don't like what's happening in South Africa, there's an offer, and we must emphasize it's not all Afrikaners, it's not all white people.
So it's important to clarify that these people that are being talked about here are called AfriForum, and AfriForum do not represent all white people in South Africa. So who are AfriForum? Let's ask ChatGPT. So this is ChatGPT, and here is a summary. The focus of AfriForum is primarily to focus on the interests of Afrikaners, a subgroup of white population in South Africa. It engages in ranges of activities related to civil rights, cultural preservation, and community safety. So in other words, AfriForum is a group of white people that primarily speak Afrikaans that look after the Afrikaner community in many areas. Now these people, as the ministers implies, are the people that are telling lies about what's happening in South Africa in terms of persecution. Now the South African president is also not happy with AfriForum. He criticized AfriForum for engaging with the United States administration and addressed concern about alleged human rights violation against white South Africans. He accused the group of sowing division within the nation by seeking external intervention instead of resolving issues domestically. So many people accuse AfriForum of treason. Like, how do you take a problem that's internal and take it to a foreign country hoping to get resolution from them? This doesn't sit right. And again, I need to say that many white people...
Yeah, so this is Job chapter 18. It's a blue letter. So Abinadab speaks of the wicked. Abinadab's second responds to Job on it says the NLT, but the keep going. It says then answered Abinadab the Shulamite, said, how long will it be ere ye make an end of words, right? And then words is not necessarily just only speaking, but it's also doing, right? When people, they speak, they talk, but there's action behind what they talk, especially wicked. It talks about how the wicked speak lawfully concerning oppression. That why they're oppressing you, they speak about it, right? They speak lawfully. Also, it goes into like so this is Psalms 73:6 says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence cover them as a garment. So see, is a garment actually violent? No, it's speaking about the characteristics, the things that they're doing. It's speaking, it's action is speaking. So it's not necessarily the person speaking, but their actions are speaking louder than their words. Their eyes stand out with fatness, right? You can see a person gloating, their eyes are like, yeah, we got this, and that's what they're doing. They feel like that the MOTB is basically it's here. They're what it says on the dollar bill, their enterprise is a success. They feel like it's already in the bag. But the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. Man, they got it. They're the trillionaires, billionaires, and they basically got the hearts and the souls of men. So they feel like they got this thing, man. They are corrupt and speak wickedly. See, they're speaking, but they're speaking with words, but also more importantly with action. When you got the ICE agents going around, they got the Marines and this and that, and they have all these different things, set up. They don't care about speaking wickedly concerning oppression, keeping you in the ghettos, the vadios, the reservations, taking you off to concentration camps. Which that's the thing that's about to be very real in the real which a lot of you Jakes are just, especially you Eves, man, right? That's the thing that's about to happen real soon, right? They speak lawfully because, hey, man, they feel like they got this in the bag, man, right? They set their mouth against heaven, right? So they're really against the Most High Yahweh and his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, right? And against his people, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, which are the true Hebrew Israelites, you Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but your bloodline goes back to Israel. We're the Israelites, right? Whether they accept it, believe it or not, whether you accept it, believe it or not, the elect will be sealed. And really, it has been sealed, right? Before the foundations of the world, this thing is already, we're just playing this thing out, right? And their tongues walk through the earth. So are they tongues actually walking? That's a form of speaking, right? You have to speak with your tongue. But how is it walking through the earth? Through their actions, right? Like the lady who went from America to Russia to so-called escape racism and then get beat up in Russia, right? Showing that they're racist. They're Edomites everywhere. And I know people like to say a lot of them Russians could be Israelites, and there's some that's there. Or they're grossly uninformed, even though they have the cathedrals and the things that show that the Israelites are black. Somehow they still manage to beat up a so-called black woman. So they speak against heaven, right? Lawfully against heavens, right? Their tongue walk through the earth, right? Through their actions. It says, therefore, his people return hither, and waters of a cup are rained out unto them, right? So they're going to go through the same oppression, slavery. The Lord's going to give them what they're asking for, right? He who has not shown any mercy should not be given any mercy. And that's what the Lord is about to do. You're about to know that the Most High is very real. And they say, how doeth the power of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Noah, right? It's because he's omnipotent, omnipresent. He's everywhere. He knows everything. That's what the scriptures say. Have he made the eye? Shall he not see? Have he made the ear? And shall he not hear? Not to mention he has his angels that's on the right hand side and the left hand side. The ones you pray to on the left hand side, you pray to Satan. You think he's all for your benefit, but Satan works for the Most High, and he's leading you to your destruction. He's leading for the cup to be rained out unto you. So you go to the waters of the place of drawing water, where you're a slave, right? Yeah, it says, and there's knowledge, and is there knowledge in the Most High? Yeah, man, better than your AI. It's the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who created all things. Yeah, let me try to finish this up for somebody else come and try to bother me. Then the fucking the batteries from goddamn die on this phone. Man, people keep bothering me too on top of it. Ugh, god dang. Let me finish this up. It's Mark, because words are more than just words, they're action too. It says Mark, right? Which means understand. It's talking about understanding, having prudence, but we understand that their thing is to push the mark of the beast, which is the micro C hip, right? Right? And afterwards, we will speak. It says, how long before you stop talking, speak since, right? And when he stopped talking, he's going to be in chains, bro. He's going to ring out the the drawing waters, right? He's going to wring it all out. He's going to go into slavery. That's when he's going to stop talking. But speak sense if you want us to answer. Right? And the only thing that makes sense is this devil's going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. Right? Because he's not going to speak sense to you. That's why he's just ducking every little conversation, because they're about to get chased out the world. Right? It says, wherefore are we counted as beasts, reputed vile in your sight? See, because we mean nothing, right? Even you Edomites, you low-level Edomites, you mean nothing to them. Because they're the elite, they're the trillionaires, billionaires. You don't mean nothing to them. But definitely you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, do you think we are mere animals? And yes, they do. They call you goyim, right? They call you useless eaters. Do you think we are stupid? Hell yeah, they think you're stupid, right? Because that's why they made the fool system, to make you stupid, to make sure that you're stupid, right? It says he teareth himself in his anger, right? He's coming down with great wrath, knowing they have but a short time, pushing the micro C hip. We know that. That's what we do know. That's the understanding. That's the mark, right? Because we're seeing what they're doing, right? Actions speak louder than words. So we're seeing the actions that's going on in the earth, right? That's the understanding. That's the mark, that understanding, right? It says, yeah, and teareth himself in his anger. He's going to just tear himself. He's going to tear down his own kingdom in his anger. Beefing against Russia, beefing against China, beefing against this, beefing against himself, right? Setting up martial law within his own country, which is going to destroy himself, not even knowing, right? But shall the earth be forsaken for thee? See? And that's what this devil thinks. Oh yeah, well, everything needs me because I'm this top tycoon. I'm, you know, I'm the, you know, but you're not the salt of the earth, man. The Israelites are the salt of the earth. You only think and believe that you're the Israelites because you were taught that, and you were taught lies. But eventually you're going to see you were taught lies by your fathers, right? You were taught lies, right? And you're going to realize you're not the Israelites. So the world will not be forsaken for you. And shall the rocks be moved out of their place? Absolutely not. You may tear your hair in anger, but will that destroy the earth? Hell no. The earth abides forever, man. Will it make the rocks tremble? No. We're the rocks. We're the lively stones, and we're not trembling. We say, even so, come, Lord, right? Yahweh Shai, please come, Lord, come quickly, right? Destroy this devil. Hey, of course, we're the hopeful elect. We want to be of that number, but hey, if we're not, even destroy us just to bring in the kingdom, because this place is not filled with righteousness, man, right? It says his because that's this devil right here, man. His confidence shall be rooted out. See, and that's what it is. You have a lot of confidence. They are torn from their security, right? And that's what's going to happen. You're going to be torn from your security. You're confident in a lot of things, man, and what you shouldn't be, right? Their houses are broken down to the king of terrors, man, because that's the Most High, Yahweh, through his only begotten son, is the king of terrors, man. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle. See, your rulership is going to be done, right? And it shall bring him to the king of terrors, right, which is Yahushai, right, because the Father's going to send him, and it shall dwell in his tabernacle, right? The Lord is, Yahushai is going to rule the world, right? Because it is none of his, right? It ain't yours. It don't belong to you. Brimstone shall be scattered upon the habitations, right? So ICBM missiles, right? The laser beams from the chariots, things are going to happen, man. His houses, the houses of the wicked will burn down, burning sulfur, right? Which the ICBM missiles rain on their houses, right? Hey, man, the ICBM missiles are going to come, man. And the laser beam from the chariots scattered upon his habitations, right? It says his roots shall be dried up beneath and above shall his branches be cut off, right? Their roots will be dried up and their branches will wither, right? Yeah. So you're gonna tear up your own kingdom. See, you're gonna be chased out of the world, and his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the streets. See, you ain't gonna be no memory. All memory of their excellence will fade from the earth. No one will remember their names. Nobody's going to remember Donald Trump, and no one's going to remember you, man. Nobody's going to remember Jacob Rothschild, right? The DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers. Nobody's going to remember you devils anymore. You're on top. You got all that confidence, but the Lord is about to root your ass out, right? That's why it says, and he shall be delivered from the light into darkness. See, that's where you're going. You're going into darkness and chased out of the world. And that's ultimately what's happening to you devils, man. You getting chased out of the world. And they will be thrust from light into darkness, driven from the world. You're going to get chased out of the world. So call Loyim Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, right? To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, your Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Baba Ball, Kwam Yasharallah.